Hi y'all, this is So Blessed. Welcome to the blessed place. I've been having problems with my volume, so I'm trying to speak louder. So if I'm too loud, turn your volume down and I apologize. And if I'm not loud enough, turn your volume up and I apologize. But it is what it is and this is the best I can do. Bully collectors, also known as bill collectors. Now, I know this video won't be for everybody because some of y'all have pristine credit. And I'm sure you always had pristine credit, so you've never had the blessed opportunity to deal with a bill collector. So this video is only for a very small segment of my viewership who's ever had to deal with a bully collector. So I want you to share with me your story of the meanest or the rudest or the most relentless bully collector you ever had to deal with. Or perhaps even a funny story. Either something that this bully collector said to you, or better yet, if you have a good juicy comeback of something that you told a bill collector. Okay, my story. I've been trying to remember this bill collector's name because I said I would never forget his name because he was a bully collector. And he used to call, these phone calls started, I don't know, years ago. I would say maybe now about 8 years ago. These phone calls started about a bill that I must admit I was in default in this bill. Truly my fault. But what happened was I got behind in the bill, didn't pay the bill for a while. When I started to pay the bill, which started out as $2,000, by this time it's up to $8,000. And I told them I will pay you, the $2,000 plus, some interest. But I am not paying $8,000 because you all have sold and resold my account from one collector to the other. So, but I can't remember this guy's name, but we'll just call him Brandon because I just remember thinking he sounds like a Brandon. And he was mean, rude, relentless. But this one particular time, he called, and he and I were going back and forth, and I was trying to explain to him that I don't owe $8,000. I'd be glad to settle, make a settlement, but I'm not paying $8,000. And he did not want to go for that, or he wanted to go for a settlement, but far more than what I owed them. Now, at this time, I had my 14-year-old nephew living with me. Of course, Derica was home, and she was probably, 13 or so. And my nephew was living with me now. He was about 14 at the time. He was one of these thugs that I had taken in, and, affectionately, I call him. He was one of those, grew up in one of those, thug environments. And I'm trying to reform, him into a respectable young man. And, of course, I had raised my daughter already to be a respectable young lady. But they heard me going back and forth with this man, and I'm sure they probably heard me many times going back and forth with this same Brandon. This particular time, we were going back and forth, and I hung up on him. And then he called back. Thankfully, the modern technology of caller ID, we knew who it was that was calling. And my daughter, Derica, and my nephew, Demetrius, they begged, let me answer. And I'm like, no. And they're like, please, let me. And my thug nephew was like, Auntie, let me answer him. I'll cuss him out. I'm like, no, I will not have that. You do not cuss out, adults. You don't cuss out anybody, but you're especially not going to disrespect an adult. Mind you, even though it was Brandon. But I must say, I've got to admit that the idea started sounding pretty good because me as a Christian woman, even back then, I couldn't cuss him out. But what better excuse is there to let my little thug nephew cuss him out? So I let them answer the phone. I said, okay, but only thing is you could tell them off, but no cursing. I will, under any circumstance, I will not have that. So my nephew answers the phone. Hello. And he's like, do you know what Brandon said? Let me speak to your deadbeat mom. Oh, no, he did not. Let me speak. And my nephew went off on him. Who you calling deadbeat? And don't let me come find you. I'll do this and I'll do that. And Derica threw in her 2 cents. And it was so funny. I mean, in a way I felt bad because I'm allowing these two young 12, 13, 14-year-olds tell Brandon off. And I mean, my nephew went off with everything from A through Z without using a curse word. I mean, he had to restrain himself from cursing. And I was in the background like, you better not curse, you better not curse, you better not, you know. And I can't remember what Derica was saying, but she was like, yeah, and how dare you call my mom, and yeah, and don't call our house no more. And oh my goodness, it was hilarious. But now fast forward, I don't know, 7, 8 years later, bad mommy. I should not have let my daughter and my nephew disrespect Brandon like that, but Brandon was so disrespectful. He was so nasty. And you know how you picture what someone would look like? I picture him to look like Michael Buckley from What the Buck? Michael, no disrespect to you because I think you're a sweetie and I'm one of your subscribers and I love your channel, both of your channels. But I just imagine Brandy looking and acting like Michael Buckley. You know, now that's no commentary on Michael, on your personality and your character, because I think you're probably a very awesome young man. But I think your day job, I think you're a bully collector, Michael. Tell the truth. I think you're a bully collector. So, share with me your stories of dealing with a bully collector. Okay, guys, I don't want to seem like I'm complaining or whining here, but it is so hard to get a video response from you guys. Now, I appreciate your text comments, and if you just refuse to make a video response, place your comments down there. But I would love to hear your story of dealing with a mean, nasty, rude, relentless bully collector. And if you're a bully collector, shame on you. Nah, I'm just kidding. I understand that it's a job, it pays, and hey, we all need money. But if you're a bully collector, also known as a bill collector, share with me your story. What's the meanest, rudest, relentless thing you've ever done, or what's the funniest, meanest, rudest thing that someone has said back to you? Okay. Y'all be blessed and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Welcome to the blessed place.